Hi, I'm Samantha and welcome to the Evidence-Based Mommy. I have Dr. Marcy Rowland with me again today. Thank you for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So today we were going to talk about mindfulness with parenting because I know one of your expertise is helping people with anxiety disorders, and of course mindfulness is important for everyone, but I know it can especially be harder for people who are dealing with anxiety.
That's right. One of the things that we know about anxiety is that it really is based on the future or the past.
That's true.
So, it's really easy to get caught up in ruminating about things that have already happened, things you wished you hadn't said or done. So all of those things that have already happened and that we cannot change. Likewise, it's equally easy to get caught up in things that haven't yet happened, the sort of what-if style of thinking, worries for the future. And so, anxiety lives in the past or in the future, and if we can stay present, which is the principle of mindfulness, then there's really no room for anxiety in the present moment. So really try to encourage all individuals, but particularly people who are struggling with anxiety, to remain mindful, to try to stay present in today.
That sounds lovely. Actually,
it's an ideal.
About all we need. But yeah, that's an ideal, right? So actually pulling it off is kind of the trick.
Yes, right.
So one thing, for example, we talk about a lot of people have like toddlers or preschoolers, even older. Sometimes they don't do what we want them to do. Go figure. Kids not doing what. Imagine that. Right. And so, for example, say, you've got two kids. You've got a baby and you've got a toddler, and the toddler gets mad and, wails the baby in the head. And, you freak out, right? You're like, oh my gosh, this kid is going to be like this violent axe murderer. Look at the way he's treating the baby. What do I do to fix this right now to keep him from becoming an axe murderer?
That's right. So already your anxiety has hijacked your ability to parent in that moment. Right. Because not only are you dealing with the incident at hand, but you're also dealing with your own
30
thought
years
patterns. That's right, in which you are now responsible for having raised a child that is hurting other people. And so, going back to the principle of mindfulness, I think the real strategy here, the real trick, is to try to treat each behavioral incident, as it were, as a single solitary event.
That's so hard.
It is. It is. So, part of that is sort of tracking on your own thought patterns, making sure that you don't use the very categorical always or never.
This kid always hits.
That's right. Yeah. He's never going to be able to behave.
Right.
We're very prone to those kinds of absolutes in our thinking, but again, especially when we are under distress. So checking in with yourself to make sure that those kinds of cognitive distortions, future predicting, aren't getting in the way of your ability to just remain present and respond to the incident that you're dealing with.
Because it upsets you, and that's not what's best for your child either. You have a better chance of actually preventing hitting in the future.
That's right.
If you can stick to this one particular time.
Yes, and wouldn't you be more likely to overreact to an incident if you yourself were predicting the future in the way that you just described?
Right, yeah. And it's difficult, but it's like you have to stop first, right? Before you do anything, go get the crying, the baby.
Sure, certainly.
But other than that, stop and kind of get yourself on the right track.
Yeah.
Is it actually that bad? Probably not.
So checking in with yourself, kind of getting yourself together first. There's really no harm in taking a deep breath before you decide how you want to respond to a particular situation. Right. So you're responding, like you said, instead of reacting. That's right. Yes.
Such a big difference.
It is. But our emotions can guide our reaction. So we want to self-soothe and take care of ourselves first before responding to the situation that our children are involved in.
Yeah, and some of us don't have the best self-soothing skills, right? We may not have been taught those. Even now with with all of them, but mostly the oldest, when she starts to just freak out about something, I stop and I'm like, let's breathe, inhale, exhale.
And modeling for her, yes.
Actually, I do that with all of them now, come to think of it. But I can remember it most with her because I've been doing it more time with her. And
now, was that something that your family of origin would have?
No. But I don't know. I think honestly, I read about it somewhere else, and I was like, that's actually really helpful. And I found that it helped me. And so it's like, well, if we can instill this when they're 3, then that way it's not such an ordeal to learn it when they're 30.
Yeah. You're talking about emotional regulation skills.
Yes.
And you're right.
It's a skill.
As adults struggle with that.
Oh my goodness.
So it is then very difficult for us to try to transmit those skills to our children, especially when we might be feeling activated for a particular reason. Bad day, any number of different reasons.
Yeah, that's a good thing to remember too, is, it might be one of the days that, the toddler hit the baby. Like, you just handle it, you're like, oh, that happens. And then if it was a bad day at work or whatever, and then you come home to this, you're much more likely, which doesn't make you a bad mom.
Not at all.
It just, you can have bad days too, right?
That's right, yeah.
Like, your kid's going to be okay. One bad day from you doesn't mean, like, your kid screwed up forever.
No, and I think this is my opportunity to give a plug for self-care as well. That it is our responsibility to be sure that we are taking care of ourselves.
And how do we do that? Because there's a lot going on, right?
Yes. So, first of all, making sure that you have some time set aside, prioritized for self-care activities. It may only be 10 or 15 minutes that you find that you're able to set aside during the day to do some yoga, to chat with a friend, to take a shower or a bath without interruption.
Go to the bathroom.
Yes.
Going to the bathroom is now self-care.
The bar gets lowered a little. Yes, but so, making sure that you are finding some time that is dedicated to doing those things that rejuvenate you. And I think that could be different for each individual. And hopefully some of the things that you enjoyed doing before you became a parent might still be things that you can continue to enjoy, albeit maybe in a modified form, even once you have kids to look after as well.
I found one of my things was sleep. So I used to stay up. My husband just stays up later. He just needs less sleep. That's a thing, right? Men actually, on average, need less sleep than women. And so I would, after the second baby, I would try to stay up with him because he got home late from work, and otherwise I wouldn't see him much. But it just was not working for me. And so now it's 8:30, and I'm like, peace out. I'm going to bed. And that's just what I have to do sometimes. And he's learned that that's what I need, and that everything goes better for everybody, including him, if we do that.
Yes.
And I've learned that too.
Mom and dad are getting what they need.
Yes.
So if he needs to be able to stay up and, have that time for himself, that is valuable for the whole family as well.
That's true, yeah.
So he can feel refreshed and rejuvenated the next day to start over with whatever might face the both of you in the morning.
True. Yeah, right. So
recognizing that everybody's limits are different.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's a good point. The next morning, that's a new day with new challenges. Your child will have a different day too, and so just kind of accept the day as it comes, and that gets easier with practice, right?
Yeah. And I think that mindfulness can also apply to, moments in which we aren't experiencing distress as well.
Sometimes it's good. Yeah. A lot of times.
That we want to be present with our children in those moments where we really are able to admire and adore them as people, to see the growth that is happening so very quickly.
That's true.
And, it's easy to blink and to miss it.
Right,
So, trying to stay mindful and present in the moment with them while they are engaging in peaceful play, to be able to enjoy that moment.
Right, because it's so easy. It's like, oh, they're finally, not begging me for something. I can go get this thing done. I can put the dishes in the dishwasher. I can vacuum. I can do whatever, instead of actually, no, I'm going to go play with the light bright too, because I enjoy it.
Yes. And not allowing anxiety to interfere in those moments as well.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
You may find that you find yourself thinking, I
should be.
Yes, absolutely.
I should be doing this other thing.
Yes, or I wish they would stay this young forever, which I think is a very common wish that parents might have. But again, that puts us back into the future and not in the present.
Right, if we could just enjoy now where it is, instead of being losing it because we're
time is slipping away.
Yeah,
there's so many ways in which we get tricked into worry about the future.
Sorry, so if you've never, mindfulness sounds like this mumbo jumbo thing that, only
and it might,
the country people do, or you might be crunchy. I don't know. Anyways, how do you start with that?
One of the easiest ways that I instruct people to engage in a mindful practice, if they've really never experienced that before, is to use your 5 senses.
Oh.
Our sensory experiences are necessarily engaged in the present moment.
Good point.
So if we can tap into our 5 senses, we are engaging in mindfulness. Okay. So it might be picking out a scented lotion and giving yourself a hand massage, which engages multiple senses at the same time. Not only the sensation of touch, but also being able to stay present in the moment and smell that lotion and enjoy that moment as it is. Your morning coffee or your morning tea might be another opportunity to practice mindfulness. Really enjoy, sip, and savor your warm beverage of choice in the morning. And give yourself that pleasure of just enjoying the moment.
Not like a weird magical thing. It's just being there.
That's
and
right.
just noticing what's going on.
Yes, using your awareness to stay present.
That sounds nice and like something
doable.
Yeah, and doable. And the more you practice it, the better you'll be at it for the times when it's less doable.
Absolutely. It is absolutely a rehearsal skill. So the more
and if you screw it up this time, you can try it next time. It's okay.
Every moment has its own opportunity. So we are never without moments for practice.
That's nice. So thank you so much. That's been really helpful.
You're welcome.
So we will see you again some other time. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a good day.